Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to same item. Current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Jaden XD. We are doing Married at First Sight, episode 8.
Yes.
I forgot the title of this episode, but I feel like I'm just gonna name the episode on my own. If you were to give this episode a title, what would you have given it?
Free yourself.
Okay.
If you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Oops, you're not actually talking to me. You arranged this fucking meetup, and yet you're silent, nigga.
Right.
I'd name it Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the hashtag bless. I don't know. I name it a whole bunch of shit.
My title is "You Guys Look Jazzy."
Oh wait, there's another one. There's another
Yeah.
one. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I wanted to name it.
Yeah, you guys look jazzy.
Oh. If I could name this episode, I'd name it Snacks.
Because in my notes, I've put Miro's parents come over for a snack.
Snacks. Yo, that was the most Kingsbridge conversation, and I died. He was like, "That's Spanglish, nigga." That literally made me laugh out loud.
Yes.
I said, I'm feeling at home. Aw.
Yes. So let's get into last night's episode, shall we?
Yeah, we shall.
So we're on day 12 of marriage. And it's morning. You know, they're all getting ready. They're brushing their teeth. Yeah. Probably not their tongues because, you know, the majority of the people on that show are.
I think Brianna and Paige brush their tongue. Nobody else do, though.
Yeah. And so we cut to Heather Headley and not Miro, a.k.a. Brianna and Vincent, if you guys are new here. They're still beefing from last week. Now, they cut to from last week where they had some weird-ass irrational argument.
Yes. She was like, "You good?" He was like, "No."
Yeah. She wants to talk to him. And, you know, she doesn't want him to get to the point where he has to leave to get his head right. Because that's what happened last week. Right. Things got escalated, and he packed his little knapsack and flipped his imaginary hair and pumped down, you know, the hallway to go to his real crib.
I didn't realize, she didn't realize that he was offended by anything that she said.
No.
He's so upset and in his feelings, which again, he's a Leo, man. That's just, all of this made so much sense, especially when he be living in his head, but we'll get there. So he actually didn't leave. He said he made it as far as the parking garage, and then he turned back around because he realized, you know, I have a wife and a dog now.
He was being a douche monkey
also
and needed to not go.
Right. Well, we're going to get to that, but I was just talking from his perspective right this second. Because that nigga he be on 2. Okay?
On 2. Let me get a pick 2.
I'm like, you be, okay, all right, okay.
Right. And so, you know, like you said, she didn't realize that she was disrespectful in what she was doing. She was like, I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing with you. But
I was not laughing. I'm sorry.
Right. And so she's confused, and he was like, I already said I don't like the disrespect. And he was like, well, I don't really know what is disrespect, because, they haven't had that conversation of defining what that is.
No, he just keeps throwing it around like a tetherball.
Right. And so he was like, well, I feel like I shouldn't have to be repetitive. You should know. Essentially, you should know what pisses me off to not do it. And it's like, nigga, y'all been together for 108 hours.
Oh, we'll get to that.
So I don't, sure, Jan, whatever.
Yeah, we're going to get to it because,
right.
we're going to get to that.
Right. But what was poignant was she said she was confused when he was about to leave the night before.
Yes.
Because she was like, home, but this is your home.
Mm-hmm.
So she had to like remind him, like, no.
Yeah.
Inward.
She was like, let's go into another room if we need to cool our heads off. But leaving should not be the option.
Right. So then we move on to I don't really know their real names. Cheese Stick and Mila Kunis.
Oh yeah, Mila Kunis and Ben Gosling.
Yeah. What's their names? Eric and Virginia. There we go.
Yes, but we call them not Mila Kunis and Ben.
Yeah.
I call him Ben Gosling because I cannot get it out of my head, and XD calls him Cheese.
Because he looked like Cheese Stick from 90 Day Fiancé.
He does not look like him. What do you say? He just looks like an ambiguous white man.
Yeah, Cheese Stick.
Okay, all right, fair.
If he was tan, I'd call him mozzarella stick. You know what I mean?
Okay, you right.
Cheese stick. So,
But he looks like Ben Gosling.
He looks
or
like
Ryan
string
Affleck,
cheese.
whichever you want to. He do look like string cheese.
And he has like anchor face. Yeah.
Sky rockets in flight.
Yeah.
Afternoon.
Yeah.
It's very anchor.
He has a Cron 4, like.
It's we have a 70% chance of rain.
Yeah.
Wait, can I tell
you? We should call him AccuWeather.
Let's call him AccuWeather. I'm going to change that in my notes. Wait.
Yeah.
Did you know Twitter teaches you things? And if you already knew, first of all, don't come lying and acting like y'all already knew. I hate when people do that. They be like, you didn't know that? I'm like, bitch, neither did you. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, do you know if they say it's a 70% chance of rain, we always thought that to mean, is a 30% chance that it won't rain then, right? There's a 70% chance that it is going to rain. No. It is a 100% chance it's going to rain. Always when you have the percentage, but the percentage is based off of the area that rain might hit.
Oh yeah, because they base it off of.
There you fucking go.
Well, the only reason why I didn't know that. I know that they take it off of a specific area. And the only reason I didn't learn that, I figured that shit out when I was trying to plan a trip.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right.
So it's not, and this is also around when I learned around Sandy. So that's when I was right. So it's not like I went to I'm good for I know everything, but no, that's not that's not what this was about at all.
And you knew as soon as you said it, you're like, oh yeah. You knew. Yeah. You knew. Anyway, AccuWeather. AccuWeather
and not Mila Kunis. Now she's out of town for a wedding.
I want to call her something else. Can we call her something?
No, because she looks exactly like her in Bad Moms.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Really?
Mm-mm. Who's in that?
One of the girls, Mila Kunis, Kristen Bell.
Let It Go?
And Agatha from WandaVision.
I don't watch
I don't either, but here's the thing. I don't, I don't.
Y'all keep
but
trying to get me behind this white woman named Wanda, and I don't believe in that.
I didn't watch it either. I was half asleep, and the CEO was watching it because they watch nerd shit.
Yeah, that's what.
So I was just half asleep, and I kept seeing this white woman. I was like, oh, that's Idina Menzel, but I was like, no, that's not Idina Menzel. And then I was like, I know this white lady from somewhere, and I was like, oh, she's the cool mom for Bad Moms. So anywho,
Okay.
I don't know what else she's been in, but whatevs. Bad Moms, you would like it.
I'm gonna watch it. Do they have any black moms in it?
No, but when you watch it, you would understand why there's not.
Whoever made Bad Moms, let's do one called Black Moms. Wait, you shake your head. No, who made it?
No, there should be a Black Moms.
Let's do Black Moms. Put me in it. Put me on the team, coach.
Yes, Black Moms. I was rewatching. I'm Sorry, because it's on Netflix.
I can't believe it got canceled.
I know, and it was, and I just started from episode 1 when
Is that when they thought their daughter was a racist?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like her because the color of her skin. And they're like, oh my God. Oh no. They were like, look at Beyonce.
Right. So,
these niggas.
Cheese Stick, right. So Cheese Stick has a wedding that weekend too. So he's a little bit annoyed because they're, apart. Mm-hmm. And so he runs into, so he's a little annoyed, but he runs into not Anderson .Paak, walking, the dogs,
Garam Karaka.
They're not necessarily representing Wu, but they're just walking dogs.
Yeah.
So, they're downloading each other on information, superficial bro talk, like how's the missus, how's the old ball and chain. Mm-hmm. The problem is that Cheese Stick likes to tell everybody how much that his wife is a drunk. So
no, he likes to tell everybody how much older he is than his wife. That's his favorite thing.
Yeah, that too, but also that she has an inadvertent drinking problem.
Well,
yeah.
Noah knows that she has a drinking. Hell, Miska the dog knows that the lady has a drinking problem.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. So he said, we figuring each other out, learning little things and adjusting. And he goes, now I lived with. Oh, go ahead.
I do want to say, you remember how I said last week that Anderson .Paak looks like somebody talks like somebody that's been in love with a nigga before? Mm-hmm. He also dresses like somebody who's been in love with a nigga before.
Oh, he dressed like a white boy to me. And his butt is very big. You're right. My God. Yeah. I was like, this little muscle booty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Again, okay. I just feel like we'll get to why again. I was vindicated. I was vindicated this episode about that man. I was like, yeah, see, I told you he talks like a nigga who loves a nigga before. But anywho, I'm not calling him gay. I'm just saying he talks like a nigga who has been in love with a nigga before.
And he's got the hair of like a nigga who's hung a nigga before. But anyway, so
yeah.
It's so many things.
He has the hair of a white man who's been in love with a nigga before.
It's the hair of a white man who's been in love with white supremacy.
Yeah.
That's that hair. Your mama don't say nothing about this coif. Like she don't say nothing about this. It just that's why you see how he wears hats most of the time now. Mm-hmm. It's frustrating.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's a strip.
It's like, and it's super sleek and smooth. And I would get it if he was like if he was an anime type, because then it would all make sense to me.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
because he's so straight laced and eats oatmeal,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Oh well. But you put stuff in it. I'm sure he eats plain oatmeal.
Oh,
with
nigga, you
nothing
know it
in
was butter and cinnamon and vanilla and
Oh yeah,
brown
no,
sugar.
he made that shit with water. With Philadelphia water. That is what he made it with. So no. But anywho.
Oh yeah, so AccuWeather says, we live in. I've lived with someone a very long time, and she's never done that. So I'm letting her figure it out, and I'm giving her space. And I was like, you and this motherfucking, but we will also get to that.
Yeah, he talks a big game about how he's older, and that shit is annoying.
Yeah, it's super annoying, especially because he acts like a jealous little boy. But,
Right. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wants to be affectionate. He says she'll be working from home and doing things, and he wants to be affectionate, and she actually gets annoyed, and it hurts his feelings. And so he's really scared of losing that spark and that connection that they had initially.
Right. But we move on to hashtag blessed. So he links up with Pastor Darren's dance grooves and someone who I call homosexual Bumper Robinson. So
Ew, don't do Bumper Robinson like that. Not on the not on that level. But
the other nigga who was with
like
Pastor Darren's dance group, or his middle name was Ronzoni. Take which one?
Well, I just called him a nigga named Mikael. That was, and he had on a zoot suit with a t-shirt.
No, he gave me like Freddie Jackson vibes.
But so how you know? But Freddie Jackson. This is what I'm trying to say. See, that sounded bad. It sounded like I was mad because you called him homosexual, Bumper Robinson. I don't care about that. What I'm trying to say. He don't look like Bumper Robinson.
He do kind of like currently Bumper Robinson. Yeah.
No, he don't. Bumper Robinson just put on a little grown man weight. No, he does not.
Okay, well, there's dance groups and Freddie Jackson. Okay.
A nigga named Mikael.
Mikael. Oh God, that's what we should title this. A nigga named
Mikael. We just can't put nigga in the title.
No.
Damn. But Pastor Darren dance moves and a nigga named Mikael.
Yeah, and so
Before the nigga even starts, they go, Betty having twins. Betty had on that.
Yeah. Yeah. They were a lot. Yeah. And this scene this is the only time I think ever in life I will ever agree with hashtag blessed. Because he goes to them and he tells them everything. I'm surprised at how honest he is with them. But I think maybe it's because, those are people he grew up with.
Yes, but he still constantly contradicts himself because these are the same people that he was quote unquote honest with the first time and lied out of his slick ass, greasy ass face saying that he doesn't want to repeat the same bad habits he's had before.
Oh, well, men. Men just be talking.
They do.
And so he tells them that he asked for a divorce from Paige, Black Christian weave lady. And so they're like, hey. There was a lot of awkward silences in this whole entire episode. And so they're looking at him like, you're making a bad decision and you have a problem with commitment. You need to learn commitment. Your wife is now the most important thing to you as of right now. they explain to him like you can just you don't got to be back with the baby moms. Like you are able to successfully co-parent in the covenant that you chose to create.
Which I agree with. However,
right.
Why are y'all encouraging this man? You keep bringing up, well, you need to do right by her. He already has not done right by her. Let's be very clear. That nigga didn't do right by her. And I'm not talking, like, if a person is not attracted, they're not attracted. You can't make them be attracted, right? But he's been a dickhead about it the whole time. He's been Absolutely. A dickhead about it. He's been a conniving asshole. He's been a gaslighting fool. He has just been a dickhead the whole time. And you are guilty the minute you stuck your motherfucking dick inside of her. You should have never fucked that girl.
Mm-hmm.
You're guilty. Go ahead.
Absolutely. But this is why I said I think he's making a good decision, because he like shuts down #blessed us because he's like, you guys aren't hearing. He's like, I get all that. I understand. This is just a really fucked up situation. Ooh, Woodbine. But yeah, it's a really fucked up situation. But in order to make this right, I need to leave this girl alone.
Which facts.
And they go into this diatribe about how Black Christian Weave Lady is like a diamond and how she's a rare one. And I'm like, is everybody in love with her?
Not even just that. Everybody keeps talking about all of the assets and all of the things she will bring to his life and all that. She is the perfect wife and she is, look what she brings to the table and she's special. That means his dumbass don't fucking deserve to be a part of her life. Why would you all even want that for her if she's so fucking special? Which she is. But why do you want that for her? What the hell is this? Oh. Why do you want that for her? And keep trying to encourage him to be with her. Y'all need to encourage this nigga to leave her alone because he's wrung her all over the place emotionally. Right. So, yeah, go ahead.
So, he shuts down officially. He just says, I don't want to talk anymore. And he just gets on his phone and just sinks down in his chair. And because he's like, you're not listening to me. I'm not being heard. So what's the point?
He's also a child. And also he doesn't deserve to be heard because you should have never gotten to this process in the first fucking place. I was actually mistaken. It was not the first time he stuck his dick in her. It was when he signed up for this motherfucking process because you knew you weren't ready for this shit from jump. And it looks like anybody's life you enter, you bring nothing but chaos and negativity.
Mm-hmm. And I want to know how long this process was. Like, was it a few months? Was it weeks?
Let me Google.
But
Google, you should do your thing. How long is the married at first sight process? 2 months. So it can be as short as 2 months.
Got it. I don't know if I want a process where strangers are fixing me up with a stranger to spend the rest of my life with potentially.
Nigga, y'all better treat this process like a goddamn vaccine. Okay, I want scientists on this shit. I want all the therapists. I want all the couples counselors.
FDA approval.
Okay, nigga. Put Dr. Fauci on this shit. I want everybody attached.
Everybody. If I'm putting that much faith in you people.
That's it. And even then.
Right. So, moving on. Rom-com, a.k.a. Haley.
Yeah, we had day 13.
Yeah, and she meets up with her girl Lauren. And, we all have a Lauren, It's Lauren. Lauren represents something.
She does.
Lauren represents, I will say in this case, Lauren represents a mirror. Because Lauren shows rom-com herself in ways that she needs to see. So she meets up with she meets with her friend Lauren, and rom-com downloads her on all the tea, and she glazes over her that ill-fated night in question where she met up with the girls and the guys came too, and she wasn't too truthful about that situation.
No, she was not.
And and then she goes on and tell her about the style thing, and Lauren's like, I don't
listen. She
you're being
glazes
ridiculous
over everything because she's like, so tell me, I want every detail. That's what the friend says.
And I see why she asked that.
And rom-com's like, well, I didn't know you can have such a roller coaster of emotions in a week. Very broad. Then she tells her, it takes you a minute to process things, and she said it takes me a minute to process things, and once I realized what was happening, it was too much for me, so I started backing off. And the friend kind of says it at the same time. You started backing off because she knows her friend, right? And rom-com, this is a very notable moment, was like, I know. This is repeated behavior.
Yes.
This is repeated behavior. So Broad Shoulders asks her, what made you pull back? And she's like, oh, his obsession with the 80s and his goofy stuff he brought to wear. And she's like, okay, I'm waiting for more.
Yeah.
It sounds like you just don't like his style. Okay, but we're talking about marriage here. So give me more.
Right.
She ain't got more.
She doesn't. And so Lauren tells her, yes. And Lauren tells her, like, you need to make a concerted effort because it doesn't seem like you have. And, you need to make an effort to change. It's not just going to be him that he needs to fit in your standards. Like, you need to not be the girl you were. And, she's right. Lauren, tells her all the good things that she needs to hear, and we see later how that turns out.
Yeah. Her friend's like, I don't want your biggest regret in this whole thing to be that you just didn't put forth any effort in this shit. Like, you walked away knowing that you didn't put forth a single bit of effort. And she gives her a bit of real advice too. She was like, there's two hearts on the line here. This is not just about you, which is very interesting coming from a white woman. She's like, you need to think about somebody else. And I'm like, wow. But she's like, your reaction is to run and shut down, but you need to at least give it a fair chance. You need to try to push through and give this a fair chance. And you knowing that you're pulling back is not doing that.
Right. So, we move on. And we're at a point where, actually, we should take a break.
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break, and we'll be back with more. This is the blackest show about nothing.
This is Jade and XD. I'm Jade.
And I'm XD.
The show is two best friends talking about anything and everything.
And sometimes we have awesome people on, like Crystal and Kid Fury from The Read.
When I was in high school, there was this girl in my computers class with me. I wish I could remember her name so I could apologize. But I just used to call her Atrocious, as, a pet name because... Hey, Atrocious! Being someone who was constantly the butt of a joke or picked on or whatever, I just saw this opportunity to, make fun of somebody else, and I did it.
Somebody needs to do a study into silver teeth and the link between, the silver tooth to prison pipeline.
Yeah, silver tooth to prison pipeline.
And New York Times bestselling author Michael Arsenault.
And Mama kept trying to interject at any moment that she could sing, and it was like, beloved, you're not even the best singer on stage. The girl from Destiny's Child is with the Platinum Solo album. It's like, not you.
And of course, there's us,
Jade
and XD.
You can listen to new podcast episodes every week on Fridays.
Listen to Jade and XD
for free on Spotify.
And we're back. So, talking about life after... Ooh, wrong show. Married at First Sight. Oh, gosh.
90 Day Fiancé.
I hate Sierra. I hate everybody on every show. Marrying Millions, whatever show we cover, it's all good. In the club, we all fam.
We all fam.
So, Cheese Stick again meets up with his friend who I call Millennial Dad. So, like, he looks like he's a millennial dad who is in like a Dollar Shave Club commercial. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I can see it. I see it.
Like he wears like shirts from Untucked.
Yeah, and he definitely works in IT or some sort of tech.
Yeah, and colorful chinos.
Yep.
So he's telling, millennial dad again the age shit and that she's a party girl.
No, before that he says, well, yes, I'm sorry. You're right. Yes, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. And he kind of talks about not knowing where she is all the time. And Millennial Dad has a lot of opinions about their relationship, and more specifically, Cheese Stick. Because he's like, you need to stop being old.
He's like, you need to stop. He said, you need to stop being, you don't need to try to control her. You don't need to try to change her, which he was very valid in that. Did you catch AccuWeather say, well, she just doesn't like, when she's going out, she doesn't say like, is that okay or is that cool?
Yeah, he has this, like, he doesn't think it's controlling, and he doesn't think that it's like checking in or like asking permission. He thinks
we'll talk about it.
Yeah, so he conflates these things in his head, and it's like I understand, like, hey, every once in a blue, like, you good? Yeah, I'm good. Okay, cool, fine. But it sounds like he's wanting
updates
and
check-ins,
just like a forecast.
Yeah,
AccuWeather. Okay.
He's like, I just want updates. I'm the husband. Right. I'm supposed to make her feel safe. Well, this bitch is clearly out here feeling safe. Okay, she's coyote ugly right now. She's not worried about your ass.
Hello.
He's like, she's gone for 4 days now. And I just, oh my God.
That's the one thing I don't miss about living in Brooklyn.
It's 11:53. We've had 12 sirens. What the fuck?
The block is hot.
So he's like, she's been gone for 4 days, and I just really need her to miss me. Like, she's with all the closest people she's ever known in life, but I want to know that she misses me. And the friend's like, she needs to understand that you're not trying to change her life and come in here like super dad. And you need to give her space, and you need to stop turning this shit into a coaching session. He called him on that shit.
Right. I was like, a friend.
A friend. It was a couple friends this episode.
Right. Because next up, young Miro meets up with his stud-looking friend named Jalen.
Oh, wow. Now I'm scared to tell you what I called him. Because this is not shade. Because this is a friend of the show. But I said, meet up with Miro and DJ Don Will with locks.
No, he does not look like Don Will.
He looks like Don Will a little bit.
No,
a little
he does
bit.
not. This Jalen looks like they are a starter for the New York Liberty.
No, he does stop. First of all, this is not Patreon. First of all, I hate you. He does not look like a power forward for the Sparks. Stop.
Okay.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He looks like Don Will with locks. A friend, though. Okay. A friend.
I just don't see. I don't see it. But anyway, him and Mira are out. They order some nachos. Yeah.
Natchez.
I was like, ooh, nachos.
Natchez.
And they get into a conversation about cultural differences, which is a valid conversation to have. However, not in this context, because young Miro tries to make this situation between him and not Heather Headley a cultural thing, when it's like, no, this is you being muy sensitivo.
So the friend is asking how everything is going. And you hear Miro brings up that fucking disrespectful shit again. She's very direct, and it come off as disrespectful. So the friend's like, well, even at your worst moments, do you want to go home? So Miro tells the champagne story.
and I cackled the whole time.
Let me tell you, I was over here.
Cheryl Swoops cackled.
Chuckling. Okay. He's like, well, she didn't want to help wipe it up or wipe my shirt. You know, my chismo shit. And he's like, she didn't address the situation accordingly. She didn't smile. She didn't make me feel warm. I felt embarrassed. And DJ Don Will with locks goes, okay, nigga, so you was about to go home over that?
Yeah. And laughed in his face, as he should have.
And Miro was like, well, I'm real big on respect. And this is what I really fucking appreciated. And this is the conversations that I feel like men need to be having with one another. He said, but what is respect, though? He's like, because her not wiping up champagne that you spilled is not disrespectful. And he's like, well, you know, in that reaction, I would have helped her clean it up and I would have blah, blah, blah. But he keeps bringing up the fact that he was embarrassed, which we already knew. So it was his ego that made him act like that. But his friend's like, you don't get to put your expectations of how you would react in a situation onto your partner. That is not fair. And I was like, a friend, a nigga.
Yes. I was like, preach, preacher.
Yeah. That's the real preachers we need on that, because the rest of these greasy ass niggas on this show.
Right. And so they go on about eating their nachos, and we move on to the next day. And, you know, all the gals and dolls link up for brunch. You know, the girls go meet up and the dolls go meet up elsewhere. You can figure out which one is the girls and which ones is the dolls. So,
please.
See?
The dolls were missing 2 people at the table.
See, you picked it.
The girls weren't drinking too much.
Yeah. You got it right.
You know, I'll be around, nigga.
Yeah. So, as we all know, not Mila wasn't there because she was at a wedding out of town. And by the way, they're doing a lot of like
I was
partying
already
and traveling.
I said this is still a pendejo. Like y'all are out here. I'm
still
at a wedding.
Pandowdy.
She's like, he's like, she went to Paula Dean's compound plantation to go to a wedding, and I was like, but it's still a panini outside.
Yeah,
But
guys,
there was more of that too.
Yes, so. You know, the girls are, you know, or the dolls are catching up, you know, on each other. What's the haps with the what's haps. And, you know, Offred invites the girls to their housewarming because Offred's friends are like out of town.
No, Offred's friends have COVID.
Oh, that's what happened. Oh, yeah, because they said that they were sick.
She said
because they tell the story. Oh, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together until just now.
She said,
"Oh
my best
God.
friend and her husband are sick." I said, "COVID in Atlanta."
And it makes sense because of when she told the story about the party they went to.
Yeah.
Oh,
a super spreader event.
I didn't even think about. Oh my word! So anyway, she extends the invite to the rest of the dolls, and you know, and it's just Heather Headley and Romcom there, and so they're just like, yeah, sure, we'll go. Yeah. I did like Romcom's dress, that orange number, that was cute.
I thought
she had it was the burnt orange number she had with the sleeves that came to here.
She just, you know, she's bred, and so I stopped paying her attention after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. I will say I liked her a little better in this episode. She isn't as
she's making more of an attempt, but we'll get to that.
Yes. Yes. So back to the girls. They're complaining about their wives drink a lot.
Yeah, Graham Cracker's asking how everybody is adjusting and what their favorite part about it is. Of course, Miro's machismo asks first as a home cooked meal, right? Of course.
Yes.
He's like, I love that. And he's like, the bonding, because outside of his little sensitivo ass, they do mostly have fun together. You can see it.
Yeah, they're such a cute couple. I just want him to, just get a little couch time, use code to read, okay?
Now, Gargoyle is like, oh, well, it seems like Heather Headley doesn't seem like much of a drinker. Well, how the hell?
Right.
Where the hell did that come from? Why are you peeping how this black lady puts her liquor back?
Right.
But anyway, that's just me. So Meryl's like, nah, she's not a big drinker, which I don't think she's I just think she's a social drinker. She has the
ability to. She just don't know them like that. So.
Right. And I think she is a social drinker. She has not been drinking at the things, but nobody is throwing it back like old boy's wife. So
okay.
And this was actually shade, because Meryl was like, nah, she's not a huge drinker. And then Ben Gosling was like, our wives are drinkers. They're both big drinkers. And I wanted Gargoyle to defend rom-com for a second and be like, no, she knows how to drink. Your wife.
Right. It's your wife.
It's your wife
the problem.
who needs a meeting.
Okay.
Okay, and that's not shade.
Right. It's not. I just want mama to, reduce her usage. That's all.
Just
not
mitigate,
saying,
baby.
I'm not saying all, but just instead of Thursday through Saturday, just make it, Friday and Saturday.
Like she drinks and drives.
Yeah. So Offred goes back and she tells a story about how they went to a party, her and Anderson .Paak, and there was Jello shots. And so they were kind of like, oh, everybody take a shot. And of course she takes it and he's looking at her like, are you really going to take the shot? And, and he became a little judgy.
Yeah.
And so afterwards he explained to her, there are moments where I'm uncomfortable and I didn't mean to offend anybody there. And, Offred's kind of like,
yeah, that shit is weird, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, okay.
She said, oh, I didn't realize how socially awkward you were, which, it's not a problem to be socially awkward, but she was like,
Yeah. I like Offred more and more.
Oh, yeah. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
And so she's just kind of like, okay. And you could tell at the table she had more on her spirit to say. And it does.
She blurted it out like word vomit.
Right. But before that, we go back to young Miro talking about this experience has changed him in a way because he has to get used to not having his alone time. And I was like, oh, honey, I understand. But, he's just like, I really want this to make this work. And Rom-Com goes back and she's telling the girls that her and Evil Villain are really trying to fix the marriage because honestly, there's nothing really, really wrong with them. And you can see they just never have she's never taken the chance to actually talk and get to know him.
No.
Because he's really made it a concerted effort to talk to her. And
he
she's
has.
Just kind of
and I understand that he doesn't have much to talk about. You know what I'm saying? His personality is very beats. Versatile enough to make a few dishes, but not enough for you to just love beets.
Yeah, his personality is a Midwest meal.
A casserole, honey. Shepherd's pie. No salt, no pepper.
Yeah, it's just beef and potatoes. You just get the essentials.
You know what? It feeds you. It gives you what you need.
The essentials. And
peas.
And peas, which Have I talked about my rampage? Like how as soon as I'm an elected official, I will make it my point to abolish peas.
Oh, Noah will love you.
Listen, she's on my ticket. She's gonna be my AOC.
She should be, nigga. She should be. You know when they be having all those memes about people putting their kids on the internet and they be like, your kids don't really do this. Like, they don't really do this shit. And most of the time they don't. I think we've had this conversation. Yeah. That nigga. I just want you all to be clear that nigga is her own person. Wait, I'm gonna play this. I have not posted it and I don't know if I will. But I'm gonna let y'all hear this though. Only hear it.
Is she rappy?
Nope. She came to me and told me something else, and I was like, "Here it goes." She learned something, and I had no clue.
Okay. What?
How does she know it's the bob for me? You've never heard that?
No.
Apparently it's a thing. It's a TikTok internet thing.
Oh. Oh my.
Yeah, I did.
Mind you, the way she's sitting and singing in the video, it's like she's John Legend and getting up from like
she's like it's like a BB King performance. She was Step
like,
away.
Yeah. Mama's at the Grand Ole Opry.
It is. Shout out to Claude and Chuck. Woo shit. Okay, so I did laugh at this part too, because Rom-Com is like, listen, Pastor Cal got me together.
Yes.
He said I need to get real and recognize that he is meat and potatoes and that he has his shit together and that I'm going to make an effort to work on it. And you can't be mad at that. It's not forcing it, but she's like, I will make an effort. And then we can revisit this in this 6 weeks or whatever.
Right.
That's all anybody's asking. That's it.
Right. And that's completely understandable.
But gargoyle.
Goodness gracious. So he says that he feared, and I understood what he was saying. It was just kind of
like what?
Weird. Like, okay.
Like, where'd this come from? Is this what you really want? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right. So he tells the girls that he fears that if evil Rom-Com and him do make a connection, that when it happens, it may be too late. Yeah. And he will have been checked out. Yes. And ready to move on. Or even perhaps, quote unquote, hurt her in a way, you know, which means cheat. And it was just kind of like,
but is this okay? So this scenario is real detailed, my nigga. Like, have you been cooking this up in your imagination?
Well, I mean, we also learned later that Papa got a lot of issues from previous relationships because, Papa didn't pack light like Badu told us. So
Papa
I could
is a
see why.
bag.
Right. I see how he has a pre-existing exit strategy in case shit goes awry. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But he doesn't want to hurt her. And he doesn't want it to end like this, even though, again, I just thought it was so weird that he brought up this very detailed scenario. Now, Graham Cracker.
This, I want to say, this is in my notes where I have big and bold. This is why I said he talks like a nigga who's been in love with a nigga before.
Graham Cracker says he's slow to trust people. But she trusts everybody. And Miro says that Graham Cracker is holding back, and that is going to be a problem for their relationship.
Go ahead. Because he is holding... So Alfred tells the dolls that they have not had sex yet. Mm-hmm. Now, before they have intimated that they have a physical relationship.
Yeah.
But they have not had sex yet. And so Alfred's now like, I'm confused as to what constitutes what makes you want to do one thing and not the other. Mm. But she is very sexually frustrated. And so, she says that she feels that he's waiting for the I love yous and sunshine and rainbows and all that. And she's like, just take me to Pound Town already, boy.
Yeah, she's like, nigga, I'm ready to fuck.
Right.
She's like, I appreciate him investing in this emotional connection, but like, we have that now, nigga. We have that now.
Like he talks like, this might be for the gays.
Oh, well, you go ahead.
So like, gays, y'all know when like you meet somebody and you ask them like if they're a top or a bottom, and they never want to give you a full answer because they never want to tell you that they're a bottom. So because #shame. But you know.
Really? Oh wow.
Oh yeah, bottom shaming is a thing.
But how?
Listen, because it perpetuates heterosexual stereotypes about as being a bottom means being less than or more effeminate in X, Y, and Z.
Oh, wow! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was like, well, yeah. I mean, well, don't we all? Somebody's got to be.
Somebody has to be.
Somebody's got to.
Right, or they're afraid of saying their verse because it means there's a connotation there. Yeah, it's a lot, but that conversation where he was like. I was like, oh, that sounds like a very similar conversation that the homosexuals have in the community. At the homosexual factory.
At the factory for homosexuals.
So, we're on day 15 of the marriage, right? Mm-hmm. We have about 30 more days to go, I believe, because it's 6 weeks. And not Mila is back from Savannah.
Mm-hmm. She's happy to see her dog.
Yes. Mood. So Rocky! Bitch, I missed you!
Hey baby, how are you? I missed you, sugar. He's over there like I walked him.
Right. It's like, oh hey.
Oh, hey. I said, my notes said, I said, happy to see her dog, mid to see him.
Yeah. Right. It was just like oh, hey.
Mm-hmm. She walks in, she don't wash her hands.
No, not at all. There's pigs in a blanket on the counter along with crudité. I was very confused as the spread that they were having.
Oh, they were having a Super Bowl spread. So there was like wings and tacos.
Yeah. There was an assorted crudité.
Yeah. She was making a sour cream and onion dip for their ruffled
with
chips.
a ranch dressing mix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The doll, we've all made it once or twice. Yeah, in college where we all had boxed wine.
Yeah, and ruffled chips.
And nachos. That we made, nachos that we made at home with Rotel.
I miss a good Rotel.
Me too. Ooh. My body can't handle it anymore.
No, sir.
If you offer me, you might as well just pour cyanide in my coffee. Like, I will die.
I'm like, why don't you put some Visine in my drink? Just do me like that.
Like, I will burst into flames.
In your bathroom.
Absolutely not. Right. So, when they're having a conversation because she's finally home, and he's again concerned that he wants to know that he missed her, that she missed him just as much as he missed her.
And he's feeling VV insecure because her nigga friends are coming over.
Yes. And her concern was, Well, I was just concerned with you wanted to know where the fuck I was all the time, but we made it through this weekend. Cool.
Okay, wait. Because this nigga says, well, I thought it was cool how we did it, right? Like, we just checked in every hour or two. I said, excuse me? You mean to tell me if I go to Crystal Jean's house and the three of us are sitting there watching a movie, every hour and a half, I got to text your black ass?
Right.
No, absolutely not. And I'm at my girlfriend's house for 5-6 hours drinking wine and tequila and living my... I'm not texting you, nigga.
Right. That's like when I go to Kyle's house, it'd be the whole day. And the only reason how we probably would talk to each other is when the doorbell thing comes on my phone, because I know he ordered food. We leave each other alone.
Like, let me tell you something. Partners will bother you on another level. Tristan will call me. Hey, can you, and my father used to do it to my mother, but he don't call me. Like, if I'm going to hang out, that's usually during the weekend shit. On the weekend, if I'm going to hang out at a homegirl's house, he is not blowing my phone up.
Right.
He is not hitting me every hour. Hey, you good? You miss me? I'm just checking in with you. You doing all right? Every once in a blue moon on the 6th visit to my homegirl's house, he'll hit me with a random, I just wanted to send you some love. In the course of like a 6-hour hangout, nigga. Not every fucking hour. Ooh,
yeah,
Jesus.
that shit is weird. So, like you said, AccuWeather is about to visit her bromies for the first time. Or he's about to meet them. And he's a little stressed about it. He's concerned also about them liking him outside of the jealousy thing. Like, he wants to fit in. And this is where I actually started to pay attention to their new confessional outfits.
Oh.
Right. Because if you guys didn't know, they have new confessional outfits, because now they're not like at the hotel. They're not at, in Vegas. They are at their new quote unquote home. And so not Mila Kunis was wearing like a 6 from Blossom type of situation.
Huh. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I noticed Heather Headley's, because she had new weave.
Oh,
Not
yeah, it was
weave, but new weave.
It was silky.
Oh yeah, honey, no,
she
it was
had
pressed.
a silk wrap.
She had a silk press.
And Brad Kushner Weave Lady was in her lavender.
Yes, honey. She with her ethereal locks.
Yes.
Her goddess locks.
Her goddess locks.
She's
okay.
like, I'm sending a message. So.
Right. But anywho, Black Christian Weave Lady gets a call from #blessed. And he calls one on some bullshit, but he really calls to say he wants to have a conversation with, him, her, and the new mother of his child.
Which he always calls ex-fiance, mother of my child. In full.
Which I'm glad. I mean, he doesn't say baby mama, so I guess he tries to be respectful of that regard.
Yeah, but why do you keep throwing this ex-fiance?
Because, well, you know why. We'll explain why.
Well, yeah, no, you're right.
So, and he keeps saying that he wants to clear the air. And it's just like, what air is there to clear? You cleared it already.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, you have made it abundantly clear that you want a divorce. This relationship is not good for you.
But you haven't
don't
made it
find me
abundantly
attractive.
Clear. You haven't made it abundantly clear, because she says it. She's like, one minute you want a divorce, and the next you whisper in sweet dick nothings in my ear.
Well, that means that he has made it clear, and that she don't have a clue or have a hit and a half of what she's doing. Because when a nigga gives you mixed signals, that means that it's time to go.
No, absolutely. She is heavily a part of the bitches who don't have a clue club. Absolutely.
At all. But that's what happens when you listen to Tyler Perry.
This is true, because the next thing she says is, I need to pray on this.
Yes. I've been waiting for her to be like, I'm gonna get me some Kool-Aid.
She's like, I'm about to go call Cora, and we gonna have us a prayer session.
Okay, over song. Revisits of Auntie Jams. That's golly.
Yeah, we're gonna listen to a little Clark Sisters, and when we want to get worldly, we'll listen to a little bit of Rochelle Farrell.
Oof. Yeah.
He's like, you don't have to do this, but I thought it would be good to clear the air. Clear what air? I have no air with the mother of your child.
Right. But anywho.
Oh, wait, hold on. The royalty-free music, I had to note this. Kept repeating, careful what you wish for. I just wanted to note that.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, they stayed down at the Epidemic Sound, honey.
Oh, and I live for it. Day 15. Carry on.
Day 15. So they're all having the homies together. Excuse me. Everybody, this is important. Is Pastor Calvin the host? Because I rarely see the other people.
I don't know.
I need to see the other. Because whatever.
Hold on. Hang up and call me back because you're delayed.
Okay.
Okay.
I have to make a note. Okay. So they're all having the homies over, and rom-com and evil villain look good together, actually.
They look like they're forcing it.
You know, Lauren with the shoulders comes out and says that she supports them, and it's cool, but her friends are a little intrusive, and I think I understand why they're intrusive, because they know that their friend doesn't tell them the whole truth.
They scared for him.
Yes.
It's not about her, and they're shady bitches because they had a whole kiki that's like, bitch, I couldn't imagine marrying a stranger. Me neither. Oh my god, the madness of it all.
Right, they were hooting and hollering at their expense right in front of them.
These bitches said, can you imagine cutting the cake, saying, what do you do for a living? What?
Yes. I was like, y'all are so shady, but true.
but fast. But fast.
Yeah, because I would have been like, so, what's your last name?
My homegirl, we'd be texting each other, bitch could be me.
Okay. Exactly. So, this is where it comes out that he's had some fucked up situations in the past. Where he, this is where I said he has a pre-planned exit strategy. And, her friends are like, okay.
Okay, so.
Sure.
He says each one of his past relationships ended up being a special disaster of different sorts. And they were like, oh, okay. So was it the women or was it you who was the special disaster if they all turned into special disasters? Because usually when people say that, they're the one. They're the common denominator.
Which is very, very true.
Very true. Thought that was very important.
True. Because I, in my day, I have met a bunch of people and dated a bunch of people, and oh, my ex is crazy, oh, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, what did you do?
How did you?
Nigga? Yeah, because I know, to quote Terry Theory, black men be so bothered.
Oh, my God.
He said that one day, like years ago, and that stuck with me. And I was like, that is so
That
true.
is prophecy. Which we will see later in this episode.
Yeah.
But it's so black men do be so bothered. I'd be like, what's wrong with you, nigga?
So bothered.
Just say you're feeling off today.
Yeah. But, you know, after that, her friend, Rom-Com's friends corner him in the kitchen. They're like, let's go talk.
Let's go ahead and get some 7-layer dip.
You know, the girls, they always want to chit. They want to chat.
Yeah. The girls.
The girls, they want to chit. They want to chat.
You like talking shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened. And so where I thought they were going to like be like, okay, you know, don't fuck over my girls or whatever.
Yeah, nah.
They throw Rom-Com under the bus.
Well, he
They
starts
say,
it.
well, yeah, because he's clearly still hurt by the whole situation. Like, he really, really wants to make this work because I think he likes her, and I think as a gentleman of a age that we're in the same age bracket, I understand where he is coming from in the sense of he don't want to be alone all his life.
And he's honest because he was like, listen, we had some miscommunications with some breakdowns. She pulled back on intimacy after that, and you know, I didn't act in the best way because my mind started spiraling, you know. Now this is where I screamed because essentially Rom-Com's friends were like, how do we say this?
Oh, the friend Carolyn.
She's dead inside.
Carolyn said she ain't the most expressive with her emotions. She's a little bit commit phobic. Yeah. Commitment phobic.
Now if we rewind back to the beginning when we met her, lest we not forget, aside from these relationships starting when they were 15 years old, which, you know, I just have come to the conclusion
it don't count if it don't. Nothing before 21 counts as a relationship unless there was a pregnancy scare.
I just feel like white people's timelines are different than ours because they all seem to be on this same trajectory. And, you know, maybe that has something to do with the avocados. Not sure. But anyway, so, you know, she if we remember, her ex, the last like real relationship she was in, her ex got somebody pregnant.
In high school.
Right, yes. That started at 15. But how it ended is he got somebody pregnant.
Yeah.
So that is something to keep in mind. That will fuck anybody up.
Yeah.
So which is why her friends were saying her previous reactions in other relationships was to like get away before she got hurt. And you know, that might have something to do with this defense that she has built up.
Yeah. And you can see that.
Yeah.
And especially how in the beginning where she kept harping on that relationship.
Yeah, that 19-year-old relationship.
Right. But anyway, you know, it's cool. His friend, Rom-Com's friend, Evil Villain's friend, sits Rom-Com down and he vouches for him. He was like, you know, I get it. He a little weird. like he a little weird. He just needs like he's a good person. You know what I mean? He doesn't have a bad bone in his body. He just maybe needs a reminder sometimes of some things.
He said he might miss certain cues.
Right, which
fair.
Obvi.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
Yeah.
He just a little socially awkward.
That's all.
And just really into the 80s. But that's what I was saying last week. Like, he has yet to demonstrate anything that is annoying, maybe a little bit, but comparatively to what things could be, not to say to excuse them, but also to be like, girl, it ain't really all that deep. Like, there's just some things you could work around.
Which very fair. I'm just thinking about it from a 20-something-year-old's perspective who has literally never been, who has never lived in the 80s, has never seen it.
But That's true, but also, you know how I feel. Why on earth are you like in your early 20s getting married anyway?
Well, that's another conversation, friend. That's just another conversation.
Yeah. Don't want to judge you all for for being married early and stuff. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Same.
Abe is saying he didn't get the episode, and I'm like,
Weird.
What do you mean?
I sent mine.
We both sent it to him, right?
That night, yeah. And we had a guest. You sent hers too, right?
Yeah. I'm making a note of this. 109.
Okay, I'm texting him back.
Yeah, that was strange.
I'm looking at WeTransfer because your files were sent successfully.
Mm-hmm.
Let me send this to him, forward him.
Yeah, I'll send mine to him too.
I just re-forwarded the WeTransfer email.
You sent him the one I sent to, or just the one you did?
Oh, I think just the one I just did it from.
I'll send it to him.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I just resent him mine and Jessica's.
Okay. That's so weird.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
We'll make sure we get that out the way.
Mm-hmm.
We have to write scripts today, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Well, just a general outline, right?
Mm-hmm. An outline. Okay.
Alrighty.
Not Mila Kunis.
111. Okay. So back to AccuWeather and not Mila Kunis. So he's back on this, like, I'm concerned about meeting her friends because I'm concerned about, my issues with guy friends and things of that nature. And it's just like, oh, let it go.
I'm over it. He's like, I'm leery of things like this. I want to make sure if that's who they are and that's what they are, that's all that they are, and that's all they've ever been, and which is stressing her out as well.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so her friends come over, Lane and Cole.
Mm-hmm.
They
look like frat
don't
boys.
seem like a threat at all.
No.
Like their interactions at first, I'm like, oh, I don't get any.
Mm-mm.
Like, I feel like she feels like they smell. So I don't like.
I don't think she's interested. I don't think
like,
any
those
of
are her
them are
brothers.
interested.
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
At all. So they're all having a good time. Mila inadvertently talks about her drinking problem.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like she's the one that tells us about her drinking.
She is.
She's
like, my
observe.
girlfriends made me promise when we go out, I will only try to persuade them to take 3 shots. I was like,
right.
Oh.
Mama loves to have a good time, and I'm for it. So
yeah.
Here, my thing is, girl, if you can make it and go to work, and come home and you not drinking and driving, work.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Girl, I get it.
But, ooh, child, because her first thing when everybody gets together, she's like, let's take a group tequila shot. And this is when you see where the homeboys, he's like, oh, I see. They're all like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, nah, girl,
like,
come on with this bullshit again.
Right.
And she's
girl,
like, come on. And yeah, we see exactly who is the person here.
Yeah. And so Cole, her friend, pulls AccuWeather outside. And I was concerned as to where this was going to go. But he tells AccuWeather that, we like you together, but you need to chill on being controlling.
Yeah.
Because that is one way to push our friend away. And, AccuWeather continues to be himself, the same speech he's been giving all fucking episode.
Ooh, he's 8 years older than her. He hopes she knows what she signed up for. And her homeboy's like, yeah, but she's been 100 with you the whole time.
This is exactly what she wanted, and I could assure you of that. You need to pack light, like let it go. And for somebody who says all the time, like, I know how marriage is supposed to go, I know blah 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 blah, you seem quite lost.
You don't know nothing. And they all, they're all kikiing, they're all kikiing. Oh no, that's not yet. But Cole is like, he's like, I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. Not even talking about AccuWeather. He's talking about his friend. He's like, but she's with it. She's with the shits with this. And, they're both like, yeah, okay, cool, homeboys. And they white people cheer. And
yeah, because Cole assures him that they're just friends. Like, nothing is going on.
Yeah.
And as soon as he got that, AccuWeather lit up like Sam Champion on Channel 7.
Showing all his goddamn teeth.
Yes, he was happy, like, ooh, sigh of relief. Like, why? Relax, nigga. Like,
I would have died laughing if Cole was like, now there's that one time we got real fucked up, but
now what I originally thought he was gonna pull him to
same
back in the Disney.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Which would have been a hating ass move, but I really thought that's what he was about to do, but he didn't do that at all.
Right. Let's take a break.
Yeah.
And we'll be back after this. This is the blackest show about nothing.
This is Jade and XD. I'm Jade.
And I'm XD.
The show is two best friends talking about anything and everything.
And sometimes we have awesome people on, like Crystal and Kid Fury from The Read.
When I was in high school, there was this girl in my computers class with me. I wish I could remember her name so I could apologize. But I just used to call her Atrocious, like, as, a pet name, because... Hey, Atrocious! Being someone who was constantly the butt of a joke or picked on or whatever, I just saw this opportunity to, like, make fun of somebody else, and I did it.
Somebody needs to do a study into silver teeth and the link between, like, the silver tooth to prison pipeline.
Yeah, silver tooth to prison pipeline.
And New York Times bestselling author Michael Arsenault.
And Mama kept trying to interject at any moment that she could sing, and it was like, beloved, you're not even the best singer on stage. The girl from Destiny's Child is with the platinum solo album. It's like, not you.
And of course, there's us,
Jade
and XD.
You can listen to new podcast episodes every week on Fridays.
Listen to Jade and XD
for free on Spotify.
We're back.
Yes.
Talking about Married at First Sight. Let's go on to day 16 of marriage and then close this on out.
Yes, it says, yeah.
All right. So, we open with evil villain and rom-com. And he compliments her on her jeans.
Yeah.
In those jeans.
Can you imagine him singing that?
That's why I sang it that way.
Okay.
In those jeans.
She's thanking him for cleaning up. She's getting ready to head over to Offred's house.
Next door.
Right. I was in the compound. She's like, before I go, like, you want to have a beer with me? I said, look at the effort.
Right.
Okay. So she asked.
I will say they, this is a sign of the times because their refrigerator was filled with hard seltzer.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a lot of liquor.
A lot.
I said, "Oh, y'all don't have no groceries, but you've got drinks for days." Maybe Gargoyle was not lying. So, she's like, "So where were you when you were 28?" Like, she's trying to get to know him, and he's like, "Well, I bought a house, and it was a terrible decision."
It was during the recession.
Yeah. He's like, it just ended up not being a good move, but nobody could predict what was going to happen. And he's like, tell me something about yourself I don't know. She's like, I like boats. I even had a boating license for a while. She looked like she had a boating license.
Yeah.
And then this nigga gets weird again.
Yeah, he talks about him actually being a bodybuilder.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes.
Yeah, he talks about being a bodybuilder. He has a lot of idiosyncrasies. None that are alarming, but they're just like...
What?
Yeah.
Like this nigga asked, he's like,
They're
so
not
are you
alarming,
into Spartan races? And she said, now what in the fuck gave you that vibe, Nick? Why in the fuck would I be into Spartan races? Like, where does your mind
what
go?
About me? Like, what about me gives that I would be into that?
What the fuck?
You know?
And then his dumb ass goes, so where were you at 28? She goes, here,
right.
Nigga getting married. What the
today? So, but they're on the couch. They're talking, and they're it's like they're getting to know each other again for the second time.
With some effort.
For the second time in the week, they're restarting their relationship.
I can see them being the boring couple. There needs to be a few. You know what I'm saying? I can see them being just the long term. I don't think they're going to be, but I can see them being those old people where it's like there's not. You ever met those couples? It's like there's just not a lot going on here, but y'all work.
Yeah, it works. He gives her the space. She do her own thing, and it works for them. But we get to Offred and Anderson .Paak's night of fun and debauchery.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know what my first note was. It probably was the same note that you have.
What?
He ain't got no black friends.
My note says his white friends show up.
Also, shout out to the listeners who told us 90 times over that his brother is behind the scenes at 85 South. He manages them.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And shout out to the lady who went to school with him. So, yes, we know we're caught up. We're abreast.
Shout out to you. I have the Instagram page. Nobody else has to send it.
Yeah.
I got it.
We get it. Thank you.
It's a good nigga ass time, and we are very grateful.
Right. But yeah, the only people of color there was not Heather Headley.
Yeah. And she doesn't stay very long at all.
Yeah. Only her and Offred were the people of color in the room.
And Mitska.
Okay, yeah, because Offred be marching down down Peachtree.
You know she does.
Black Lives Matter.
You know she does. So she pulls shots out.
Oh yeah.
And she just hopes that while his friends are there, that he's gonna relax a little bit more. And his friends are nosy boots. They want to see the bedroom and the whole house tour of this apartment.
And
go ahead.
They have obvious lifestyle differences. She's tired of him being old when he's not.
She's tired of him calling himself old. So she's like, this shit is getting old. this is getting old.
Oh no, that nigga got a porch. I don't know many young niggas that have porches
with a full wooden painted seat.
He looks like his favorite movie is like Sounder.
Yeah.
Like, something old and quiet.
Yeah. Like he would listen to news radio.
Yeah, his favorite Disney movie is like Fox and the Hound.
Yeah, something real off brand.
Or like Sword in the Stone,
Wait,
which I
I
love.
Sword
But
in the
yeah,
Stone.
like
What
me
you
too.
mean?
Stop to and fro, stop and go. That's what makes the world go
I
round.
love Sword in the Stone.
Me too. But Fox and the Hound.
Fox and the Hound.
Yeah.
Don't nobody watch that. And he's talking. I want to have fun, but at the right speed. And his friends basically like, well, he's just as stale as he seems.
Yeah. And I'm like wondering, like, did you have like a moment in college where like shit got too real and you had to calm down? Because if that's the case, then I'd be like, oh, I understand. If this is your recovery, then that's what this needs to be. Then fine.
Sure.
But if this is just who you are as a person,
yeah, I don't know, nigga. I'm good. So you mean to tell me
like you was
he's like every Tuesday
big
we
booty
eat
stick in
soup.
the mud.
Yes. Every Tuesday we eat soup. Every Wednesday we eat spaghetti. Like it's just very on schedule.
Yeah, he loves a soup and salad combo.
You know he does. So she's like,
he orders the special with the hot chocolate.
he's like, but please, no milk or cream. Give me water only. I'm trying to watch my calories.
I'm trying to watch my macros.
The bitch in the cafe is over it. No more hot chocolate for you.
Yeah.
So she asked for specific Ryan advice. Like, give me some specific advice about graham cracker. And they're like, hopefully you will chip at his ice block and warm him up. And, you know, hopefully you'll be able to be the person who can help mix things up.
Right.
And she basically says, again, that they not fucking, you know, but I guess he ate the coochie or something.
I feel like she probably gave him what Steve Rogers calls a handy J. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's probably like a good handy J.
Yeah.
Shit that he's used to at the gym.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm not entertaining you.
So anyway, day 17 of marriage. Finally, come on, blacks. So we get down to Heather Headley's and Miro's house, and they come over, and Miro's mother comes.
Yes.
And because she was unable to come to the wedding, but she comes in and she's very respectful. Everybody's having a good time, and you know, Heather Headley is trying to, you know, do her best to impress. Mama is the hostess with the mostest. She made it a point to learn Caribbean delights and cuisine because she wants to make sure that she makes a good impression on his mother.
So what was that? That was platano. What was that he was tasting? I couldn't decipher.
I don't know what it was.
I say, are these you know, batatas or what was? I wasn't sure what it was.
I didn't know what was happening.
That's not shade. I just literally could not identify.
I couldn't see
what it was.
But sure. They get to know each other and I thought this was cute. They play Two Truths and a Lie.
Oh yeah, but did you peep her mother's shady ass Carmen first? Her mother goes, she goes, "How's it been? You can tell us the truth. I know she's a lie."
Yes. I'm tired of these parents dragging these kids.
I'm like, God damn.
Like you are not 1 month away from a retirement home.
And who's gonna pay for it?
Okay, listen, you will be in a home quick, fast, in a hurry. Okay, Shady Pines. So they play Two Truths and a Lie, and they talk about their favorite, you know, snacks and their favorite color. I knew I liked Heather Headley for a reason because her favorite color is pink, and you know, they just have like a wang dang doodle. Hey, everybody's getting along.
I was laughing because they were like, "What country do we both want to go to?" And see, you could tell Miro has done some of his. He's been doing some ancestral work, just not therapeutic work, but he's been doing some ancestral work.
Just like
because they both like Africa. I was like, yes, but his mother is still very much like, I know black puppy. I want to go to Europe.
Yeah.
She wants to go to Europe.
Let me tell you. So, I don't know if we should do an episode of J Next D about this, but have you ever noticed, and our listeners in the motherland could attest, but have you noticed when they have shows that show or display Africa or whatever, they always play like some shit from like the Lion King soundtrack or whatever?
And it's so racist.
Oh no, oh yeah. Oh no, oh yeah.
Racist.
Like, so we're watching this season of Survivor when they're in Gabon.
Okay.
And so there is a different setup than most of the other seasons because it's almost landlocked. But it's just like every transitional scene is like, oh yeah, oh la yeah.
Like
it's
yes,
just
that
like,
is very
okay.
Lion King when all the animals was coming back, and the Pride Lands was Pride Landing again.
Yeah, I'm like, why every show does that in the history of television?
Because they're racist
or movies. Anyway, because it's just like a general song that when people refer to Africa, not necessarily thinking about that there's 9 billion different other countries and sovereign nations on the continent. You know what I mean?
I'm like, and South is very different from West, is very different from East,
Central and North. Like,
some of them
different.
They black. Right. It's
just like Black Americans. So like, but anywho.
Or the next J to next D, Diaspora Wars. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. You know where you are right now.
Let's do it.
It'd be a whole bunch of, I'm gonna bring a bunch of Jamaicans on and be like, Black Americans are lazy.
Yes. I'm gonna have Jamaicans and Trinis duke it out to see who makes the best curry.
Yeah, and who's gonna wear their best church shoes with their jeans? Like, I don't know.
Who loves Celine Dion the most? You know what I mean?
Whose Clarks do we prefer? Like,
yeah, who loves Celine Dion? Nigerians, Ghanaians, or Trinidadians?
Who makes the best jollof rice? We gonna instigate some shit.
Jollof rice.
We gonna instigate some shit.
Yeah.
Woo, we are messy.
Who wore it better? The mesh edition.
Ooh, this is gonna be good chaos and negativity.
Absolutely. Sign up for Patreon. $7 total access.
You get all kinds of you get all kinds of problematic videoage.
Yes. Twice a week.
Twice a week.
So
we're here to fuck up
let's close
all your therapy sessions. Day 17.
Yes. Day 17. So let's get to the shit. So Black Christian weave lady decides to meet up with #blessed to his fiance. Mm-hmm. For whatever reason, she has convinced herself that this is going to be a powerful moment for her. Now, before, I thought she was going to look stupid. However, I was not entirely wrong. So
which I hate, by the way, that it's this black girl who's embarrassed all over TV. I hate that it's this black girl
with blood on the street
who is embarrassing herself all over TV. Like,
listen,
I hate this nigga. Period. Like, I just
we haven't had really good. I know that we talk about, meaning like the general public talk about like representation and stuff, but I've noticed that the reality TV shows that we cover, black girls don't do too well.
Oh, no.
Because Jazzy Shoulders got embarrassed and lost her virginity to a nigga that says "hey boo boo" all the time. You know what I mean? Then we got Shovel.
Oh God. Okay, we're not gonna.
And that's self-explanatory.
Nope.
So you know what I mean? Like,
you ain't gonna have Lakeith Stansfield coming over here calling us anti-black. I don't have time for that right now.
Well, see, also I also don't take it. I take anything that those niggas say with a grain of salt. You're not gonna talk to me with dirt under your feet.
You not. You just not gonna do that to me right now or today.
Right.
You're not gonna speak
not
to me
ever.
in hieroglyphics, nigga. I don't know what you're saying.
Right. I don't know her.
He had a valid point.
Girl.
However, your
Right.
finger, you can't talk to me until you go wash your hands the proper way.
Right. So anyway, Paige goes and has to sit down, and in comes the fiance, Mercedes Bernice Braxton Fox.
Jordan.
Sex kitten extraordinaire.
Williams.
Yes, Lori Harvey.
Yeah. The Real Housewives of Potomac.
The Stallion.
Okay. So,
like, Mercedes is a baddie.
Yeah.
Which led me to think one thing.
But so is Black Christian Weave Lady.
Okay, yes. I know how she ended up with this nigga, but I need to know how she ended up with this nigga. Because
nope, I'm not gonna do that.
One was a contractual obligation. The other one is a choice.
Was the one a contractual obligation, or was it like a
It's a plot to get on
contractual
TV. That's what I think it's a plot to get on TV, which is why I think it's a contractual obligation. Either way, this lady, Mercedes Braxton, because she looks like a Braxton sister, one with the nose already built in.
Oh my God.
So like,
oh my God.
I'm just saying.
She comes in with her bad bitch heels and her bad bitch dress.
She came dressed as like that lady who steps into 2020.
Yeah, where the money resides.
Yeah, that's what she's dressed like. She's just like my girl stepping into the new year and leaving negativity. And she's walking into truth, power, money, weave.
Yes.
And self-care.
Bad bitch eyelash business for certain.
Absolutely. Empowerment brunches.
Definitely LLC seminars.
Absolutely. And trips, passports.
Boom. That's it right there.
Mm-hmm.
And Black Christian Weave Lady is like, well, you guys look jazzy.
So
that was too good for me. That was too good for me.
Cackled. Mm-hmm. So, it got quiet, and it was like nobody. Mercedes, I have no ill feelings towards you.
Which, you know what, though? I wasn't mad at that, because when you're walking into a situation this awkward, and you don't know people, and you know how other humans have reacted in situations like these.
She might have came out of a bag on her. I get it.
Yeah, she's like, let me put this out here right now. Me being here don't have nothing to do with me feeling a way about you. Mm-hmm. And so I thought it was important for somebody to put that out there. And it was important for her to put that out there, because she did recognize that Paige has no fault in this situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She has no fault.
The only fault that she has is signing up for this raggedy ass television show
and actually continuing to think about this being a viable option in her life.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's listen, code the read, okay?
Yeah.
Code the read. I don't know if our code was still working. It's JXT, Talkspace. But you know, the girls, you know, they're having a chat, and
How far along
Paige
are you?
is, yeah. Now she, in the beginning, she's real apologetic about #blessed. So she was like, you know, I understand as a man how this could be, which taking ourselves out of this and how what we know about this person, I could see how like, oh, that is fucked up. He is going through a lot.
Yeah, no.
But fuck
Let's
him.
even if we take ourselves out of this and still be niggas who looks at facts, we will sit there and say, oh, but wait a minute. Okay, so she's 7 weeks. So you still fucked her during
Which
this
is
process.
Which is why I had to ask at what point, you know, does the process start? Because then it's just like if you...
Nah, 7 weeks, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Because maybe if it was like... I know, but maybe if it was like, I don't think this is serious, or maybe they give him the final word. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what they do when they get their call to Drag Race. So it's like, how long does he have a chance to make garments? You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I am not agreeing with him. I think he is the bane of all human and non-human existence.
Oh, he is just a cast iron full of fish grease. He just is. He just is.
So, you know, she goes on to this. She intimates that she may have been pregnant by him. Or Paige says this to her. Because her thing was like, I had to put myself in this position. Like, well, how would this work out if I were pregnant? Like, what would he do then? Like, would he go with the baby moms or would he stick with me?
Which, yes, that is a valid question. But let's just talk about it.
But she was very leading.
It was very leading. It was like, okay, but you're not pregnant.
Right. And then she was like, but I'm not pregnant. That we know of yet, shit. Just because you could get your period and still be pregnant.
You can.
So,
You absolutely can.
she believes that.
So this nigga starts talking.
Yeah, because her reaction is Paige's reaction is she feels that his intentions were impure and invalid because he had sex during this process. And before he says anything, Paige brings up this idea of like, you know, he wants a divorce because he wants to get back with you.
Yes.
To Mercedes, Braxton, Vivica Fox, Lori Harvey,
Williams,
Kenya Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was like, who's getting back together?
She was like, oops. LOL.
Whoops.
Stop.
Not your girl. And that sent Paige into a tizzy. She was chuckling in her confessional because she was like, ooh, he's embarrassed.
Oh, you can tell. That's why he's not saying anything.
The whole time. It was literally a bad bitch link up, and he was there taking up space.
And they are over here just chuckling. So, because Paige sees things and her reactions, and Mercedes sees things, and so, you know, Mercedes is laughing, but she's like, this whole situation is embarrassing.
Yeah.
And Black Christian Weave Lady says she has no words. She's like, I got the short end of the stick. My intentions were pure. And he was like, well, so was mine. And she was like, your intentions are questionable.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with the pregnancy, let's be clear. It's your interactions with me. And she's like, I was willing to support him through this entire pregnancy, through this situation. I was down to be a bonus mom. It has nothing to do with that. It is about how he has interacted with me, which I'm very glad that she is sticking her to her shit on that.
And even further, he's getting more embarrassed because he's getting caught in a lie. Because it's like, you said you wanted a divorce because you were getting back with your child's mother.
But your child's mother don't
but
have.
Now she's
not concerned with you.
Right, not at all. Especially because I feel like she know that nigga broke. So, I mean, I wouldn't want anything to do with him either if he broke.
Like, you got your Subway evicted? You loser.
Oh, no. Gosh. We should open a Subway and change the name and not serve anything that they sell.
I'm down for that.
Yeah. We can make our own ingredients, use real ingredients, not the gym mats that they use.
Let's create our own. We're going to call it Train.
Yeah. Yeah. The Subway. Train. Yes. So #Blessed opens his mouth and says he's irritated.
The fucking gall.
And this is when I was like, bring Mercedes on here as a friend
I just
of the
want
show
her. I need her. I need her and Black Christian Weave Lady to be a bad bitch link up.
Yes. Yes. She was like, you're always irritated. What is wrong?
And they both laugh.
And they continue on, and Paige continues to drag him like, you have said some fucked up things to me, and this is what you get. And so this is when he goes and says wild shit, even wilder than this whole situation. He says that this conversation isn't going the way he wanted it to. And everybody's asking, well, how did you expect this conversation to go? Like, what do you mean? Because in my head, what he wanted was to be absolved of all accountability and responsibility, for her to say, it's okay, and I'm happy, and I don't hate you, and you can have, you have my blessing. Or we could all be happily live together harmoniously as, a sister-wife situation.
Yeah, no. He's pissy right now. He's super pissy because he's like, this is where I got so irritated. He said, my actions back up that I didn't want to play any games with your emotions. I've been showing you. I've respected you enough to not play games with you and lead you on, especially when I'm mentally checked out. And that, he goes and says, this didn't accomplish what he wanted. No, you don't deserve anything, first of all. You deserve nothing. And furthermore, the fact that you have the nerve to have an attitude and all of this, because remember earlier when Paige is talking to Mercedes, he cuts in with a little snippy ass, well, you can talk straight to me if you're going to take shots. And that's when Paige was like, anyway, so like I was saying,
she and I are having a conversation, not you.
And
nigga.
you have
Go
been
away.
a fuck nigga since day one. Please kiss my ass. I am not addressing you right now. So he's all in his fifis about the fact that people are calling him on his shit. And for whatever reason, he thought niggas was not going to call him on his shit. He's like, well, I'm done with this anyway. I can't wait to get back and order some food and read my Bible and watch football. And then he starts doing the same thing that he got irritated about. He's like, well, she been rude to me. She been rude to me the whole time. She been taking shots at me. And Mercedes is defending Paige.
Yes.
She's like,
Which is, I appreciated.
No. She was like, she was not rude to you. And he was like, I don't feel like I was respected. She was like, no. And then she turns to Paige and apologizes. I'm so sorry you got dragged into this mess.
And he gets so fed up that he gets up and throws a temper tantrum like he usually does and walks away. And it's left with the two grown adult women talking.
Yep. Because he's a fucking child and a greasy ass preacher.
A child.
Greasy preacher face with his sleazy ass daddy, who is standing in the corner back there just waiting to shoot his motherfucking shot.
Oh, God.
What the
Look
fuck?
at his chops.
It's 1:11 a.m. Ooh, it's 1:11. What the fuck?
Right. The box all locked, the box stay hot.
But that's it.
But anyway, that's today's episode. Last night was a lot, and we'll see you all tomorrow on our main show. Make sure you tell a friend that we are on twice a week here on Spotify, and only on Spotify, and twice a week on Patreon. $7 all access. We love you for listening, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye.